Hey, welcome back to Random Tasks. Today we are fixing my son's micro mini scooter. They're fairly common scooters. My son absolutely loves it. Unfortunately, they're not the most, let's say, resilient because he does ride it in kind of all weather. In this case, his rear brake broke off. Basically, the metal here just got corroded and fatigued. So this is a replacement part. And the other thing that happened was that these two springs that sit under here, you can see here's the one that remains. There should be another one right here. So as a result, the wheels are permanently just kind of cocked that way. So luckily, the manufacturer sells replacement parts. I did buy a cheap replacement brake about 6 months ago. Off of Amazon, and it broke already. So I have actual replacement parts. So let's get into how we actually fix this. So on the bottom of the scooter, there are 8 Phillips head screws that need to be removed. My screws don't look too bad because I've done them before. As I said, I replaced the brake 6 months ago. So, but you remove them. So here's one of them. There's 2 here. So I gotta balance this here, 2 here, 2 here, and then the final 2 screws are down here. So I was able to use just my electric screwdriver to get the 6 out here. You just need a longer screwdriver to get these 2 out. There's one here and one here. It's kind of hidden. You can see the, there it is. Now once those are removed, that just can come off. Right now, so I was going to stay on because I have the handle on, but that's a good start. So remove that and then flip it over. Now, remember I said that this corroded, fatigued, failed. The screws are also severely corroded. Now, I've already wiped this down a little bit with a rag and some WD-40, but you can see there's a lot of crud that's built up on there. This screw head might be stripped, so I might end up having to drill it out. You can see here's in one of the new ones, and they go into these lock nuts that are on the underside. Now the lock nuts are set into the plastic, so you don't need a wrench on the other side initially to start moving them. But this is going to take a little bit of effort to get those out. So I ended up having to drill the old rusty screws out. Took about 10-15 minutes, but it's done. I'm just gonna clean that up and vacuum up the metal shavings before I put the new one in. Now, if you need to replace the rear wheel, now would be a good time to do it while the brake is off. You just need a 5mm hex wrench on this side to get it out. I did this, I think, not long after we got this thing second, third, fourth hand for next to nothing, and I just did a bit of overhaul on it to make it work. I don't need to do that, so now I'm just gonna put the 2 new screws in there. And the nuts on the other side, and then tighten them up. So now that the brake is fixed, I'm now going to replace the 2 springs here that is held in by these 2 Phillips head screws. Okay, so once you get the cover removed, you can see the springs are exposed now. My old one that was broken just came right out. Now these go into a slot in here, and obviously they're wedged behind here. So actually the best way to then remove it is actually remove this piece here, which is held in by 2 7mm nuts. There's no kind of screw head on the other side. So there's a head, but you don't use a screwdriver on it. It just kind of slots into the molded plastic piece. So I'm going to take those off, and then I can take that one out easier and get the new ones in easier. Okay, so once the old one is out and these are removed, put the new ones in place. Kind of fit that in somewhat firmly, press them in. Might use a screwdriver just to tamp them down a little bit more. And then I'll probably actually put this piece back in just to keep them from accidentally popping out. And then I'll need to bend these together and put the brace on there. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on. Just make sure you put this on the correct way, and also note that, at least with mine, There were a couple washers that popped out, so I'll put them in afterwards. But first I'll have to use 2 hands to basically bend these, which shouldn't be too difficult. I can bend them with my fingers pretty easily. So just show what I mean. I've put the end of one spring into one hole. I'm gonna basically bend and pull this over to get enough so that spring pops into this hole here. Okay, so that's pretty simple. So now I need to basically put these back here and on the other side, and then put the bolts and nuts back on, and the washers, of course. So it went together fairly easily. I definitely had a lot more trouble screwing out those rusty screws at the back for the brake, but that's in. So now I'm going to put basically the top of the screw back on the base and screw in the 8 Phillips head screws. Okay, it's all done. Everything's screwed back together. Nice new brake on there, and the spring's working, so the wheels are actually straight now. Hopefully this will last at least until my son is growing out of this into the next size. But hope everyone found this interesting, useful. If you did, please like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time on Random Tasks.